Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and as you can probably tell by the thumbnail and title of this video that is all worth 1,000 words, this video is going to be about why I quit playing PUBG. Now first and foremost, I loved PUBG in its early days. I played the hell out of it with my friends. I have, as of right now, currently, over 550 hours clocked in on PUBG, and that's not counting the test server as well as the experimental test server. So I played this game enough. I got my money's worth, okay? And in the early days, I was playing this game day in and day out. I had so much fun, and I thought that the game had a lot of promise, and that's why I bought into its early access, because I thought that it would go somewhere, that it was going to be the next big thing. And it was the next big thing for a good amount of time, and I really did enjoy my time with the game, with my friends in there. Even though in early access there was a lot of bugs, a lot of optimization problems, we muscled through them because we were having a good time, and the BR experience that PUBG offered to us was something that really knocked it out of the park, and we really enjoyed like the almost realistic feel of the game and the really like military type shooter. But despite the fact that this game had massive success, that it sold millions upon millions of copies, reportedly just the other day there's over 400 million players on PUBG across all platforms, so Xbox, PC, and mobile, and they've made a massive amount of money. From what I know, PC sales have gone over like $700 million, and that's not counting the microtransactions. But despite all the popularity, despite the massive player base that was rising and rising, I was losing faith in the game more and more as time went on, and the honeymoon phase was over for me. We all have that honeymoon phase with a game that we really like. We're ready to pardon its faults and its missteps because we still are in love with the game so much that we'll excuse it if anything, and we'll always have the excuse, oh, it's still in beta, it's still in early access, but too many promises were broken. And for example, in August, they had broken the promise there would be no microtransactions in the game before it hit full release, yet they put in the Gamescom invitational crate to test out the system, and I used test out very loosely here. It was very much to start making some more money after the initial boost in sales had dropped down. So that was one of the first promises that were broken. Next, they have promised time and time again to improve performance, improve service stability, and they still fail to this day to actually fulfill these promises. And upon release of 1.0, the game had improved, but not significantly. Development was moving at a snail's pace, despite dropping a new map, almost two now, with the release of Sanhok in about a day. They were still finding ways to add more and more paid crates that were the only sense of progression that all the players have in PUBG, that you need to buy keys to unlock. Now I know, okay, there are a few crates that you don't need to buy keys to unlock, and you're not obligated to open these crates, but every player, no matter how good the gameplay is, you almost need some sense of progression in a game, some direction, something to work towards, to a daily challenge, anything that gives you a sense of progression other than winning a game, which didn't happen and doesn't happen all that often in a game like PUBG. Unless, of course, you are an amazing player and you win game after game, or, of course, a cheater. That is something that is still a very big problem in PUBG. I know some people don't cross many cheaters or hackers, but they are still out there, and it is a very, very big issue that they have yet to deliver a fix on. They still have a lot of work to do regarding this problem, and a lot of people are starting to be very annoyed by the amount of cheaters and hackers that you can find in PUBG. And upon seeing the success of Fortnite, PUBG started, first of all, suing them. In January, the lawsuit started, and they were saying that they were copying the BR mode or experience that PUBG was known for. But the ironic thing is that PUBG is now starting to copy Fortnite, with event modes that we've had for the past couple of months that Fortnite added way before PUBG did, and even more recently with the addition of the Sanhok map, as I said, which is coming out tomorrow. They're now adding a battle pass. Guess who had a battle pass before PUBG did? Fortnite, which is again very ironic because PUBG is suing Fortnite because they are replicating the experience that PUBG is known for, yet now that PUBG is failing and losing a lot of players, they are starting to do things that Fortnite is doing and PUBG was not. So the event modes and now the Battle Pass. So Battle Pass basically is going to be some form of progression, some challenges to work towards, daily, weekly, monthly, but they're making you pay for it. They're making you fucking pay for the Battle Pass in a game that costs $30 US. Why have you not made enough money with all the fucking paid for crates? I'm sorry for the swearing, I'm just really pissed. I know progression system isn't required, as I said, but why makes people pay for the Battle Pass, the only sense of progression that you have in PUBG and that Fortnite has, because it's a free to play title? They can get away with that shit. Granted, I don't condone that type of thing, but Fortnite has to make money somehow, okay? And they have in the microtransactions, which are not random, by the way. You can go and buy the skin outright, and I mean, in the Battle Pass, you can pay for it outright, or if you play enough of the game and you get enough of the in-game currency, you can buy the fucking Battle Pass with that. Yet PUBG are adding in the Battle Pass. It already costs $30. Granted, they did have a sale recently, the only fucking sale in a year. They're charging $10 for the Battle Pass. That, for me, was the last straw, the last nail in the coffin for me. I played PUBG the other day with my friend for a couple of hours, and I was just, the performance is so goddamn bad. The server stability is absolute garbage. Hit registration is a fucking nightmare. The netcode has yet to improve significantly, and now they're adding this goddamn bullshit way of making more fucking money, and this is them like desperately trying to milk PUBG for every cent that they can get out of it before the game dies, because they see the player base dying off. As of right now, I'm looking on the Steam charts, so the game is by no means dead, okay, right now. The 24-hour peak for PUBG was 1.35 million players. Now, playing an hour ago, 839,000, but you can see a tendency of players leaving PUBG at an alarming rate. From February, they lost 12% of their player base, March, 6%, April, 14%, May, 20%, and in the last 30 days, another 8.67%. That's saying something. You can't lie about these numbers. Yeah, maybe on mobile, PUBG's doing okay, but I mean, on mobile, the game is free to play as opposed to PC. People are really starting to get pissed at the broken promises that PUBG Corp and Bluehole have made towards PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds BR, and it's just people are starting to find it unacceptable that these things still aren't fixed over 6 months after the full release of the game at 1.0. There's still all the problems that we've had in the early access that we were forgiving in early access because it wasn't a completed product. And I understand the frustration. I know some people still love the game, but at the end of the day, you gotta think to yourself, how much patience can I give PUBG Corp and Bluehole to fix the game? All they're doing is taking your money. Like, you got to face it. All they're doing is trying to take your money, trying to milk PUBG for as much money as they can before the game eventually dies out. And in the fall, some AAA game developers are bringing out BR in their games, such as Call of Duty and Battlefield. And they're PUBG, you can see that they're probably really trying to, as I said, get the most money before some other BR offers something similar and better than PUBG can offer. So this is why essentially I quit playing PUBG. I wanted to make a video about this because it's so fucking like disappointing. I'm disappointed, genuinely disappointed in PUBG Corp, in Bluehole, to how they ran this game and are still running this game into the ground. I am currently, this footage that I'm using here is quite old. I couldn't be arsed to get into PUBG and play the game. I'm actually probably going to uninstall it very soon because I just can't be bothered to play something like that. I loved PUBG for the experience that it offered because it was something that really connected with me as opposed to Fortnite. I'm not bashing Fortnite. It's a great game. A lot of people are playing it, but it's just not something that I can connect with. But maybe I'm just going to try it out again or try something like Realm Royale to get my Battle Royale fix, because PUBG just isn't doing right by its community and by its consumers anymore. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about all this. I'm sorry if the video dragged on a little bit too much. I had a lot to say, and I appreciate if you stuck around this long. I apologize for the swearing and maybe the unorganized nature of the video. And as a closing statement for the video, all I can say is fuck PUBG Corp, fuck Bluehole. I'm done with all your bullshit fucking money whoring ways. I'm uninstalling the game for good. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.